show. I'm psychic medium Karyn Reece with my wonderful partner Alexa and our special guest Kelsey.
Hello. So I'm so excited to be here at Farmers Creekside in Leroy. We're actually in an igloo, if you guys can tell. And we have the water behind us, the fire, the tree. It is so warm and toasty in here. I'm really liking this. But we wanted to do something special to kind of kick off 2022. And what's better than filming in an igloo, right? So Kelsey, you know, people say that they have New Year's resolutions. Some people keep them, some people don't. That's up to you. Do you have a New Year's resolution going into 2022?
Yeah, so I think this year I really wanted to, change my attitude and just really embrace the change this year.
Good, good. So Karyn, with everything going on with the new year and, people, like I said to Kelsey, people keeping resolutions or not, a lot of times people feel as though they're in this funk throughout the year and they just kind of get down and they don't know how to get themselves out of it. So what do you suggest to motivate people to get themselves out and stay motivated throughout the year?
Well, first of all, I would say eat one of your chocolate chip cookies. Those are fantastic. She can't cook, but boy, can she bake. But I tell people, focus on solutions. Instead of focusing on the problem, because it's just going to upset you more, focus on what solutions you have, and then try to work something into that program.
Yeah.
And then look at the reward at the end. Yeah. And you may be down, but you're never out, right?
Yeah.
So if one solution doesn't work, try another one, because life is a game. So it's all about trying to figure out, how you're going to play your game. So that's one of the things.
So as we go into 2022, hopefully you guys will all stay motivated, stick to your 2022 goals, and then always see the glass half full, not half empty. So stay tuned for more as we have the second part of Britni D'Angelo from season 23 of Big Brother, who is a Niagara Falls native, and she was on the show, made it super far, and she's here with us today on our special New Year's Eve show. And of course, anytime Karyn's around, Spirit's around, so that means readings. Stay tuned, guys.
Welcome back to the Karyn Reece Show. We are so excited to have our next guest with us, Britni D'Angelo. She was on season 23 of Big Brother. Woo! She made it all the way to jury and was so great. Britni, welcome to the show. Happy New Year. How are you?
Oh my goodness. Happy New Year. Happy 2022.
Yes!
This year's about to be amazing. 2021 was awesome, but I think 2022 is going to be even better.
I agree.
And I don't know how that's going to happen because I was on Big Brother in 2021. So we'll see how this year works.
Maybe Survivor or something else.
That'd be cool. I don't
know. You gotta ask, believe, receive it, right?
I don't know. I mean, absolutely. But no, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful. We're so excited to have you. So tell me, when you were on set, was the house different than what you expected compared to what you saw previously?
Yeah, no, absolutely. In a lot of different ways, but the main one that I would say is competitions. I thought competitions were way longer. And like HOH competitions were like 2 seconds. Like they were like, yup, here are the rules, ready, set, go. And we were like, wait, what? We were like, questions, hello, what is happening right now? They would go so quickly. Obviously we had time to ask questions and we got the rules a couple times so we knew exactly what we were doing, but they just happened so fast, especially when it's live. Like any head of household competitions that were live TV, moved. Like you were like, okay, everyone stand in your spot, everyone do this, everyone do that, go. And then it was done, and you blinked your eyes, and you were like, I was outside for 5 minutes, and now I don't get the outside for another 2 days. No, you know what I mean? Like it went so quickly, but no, I would say that was the biggest shock in the house.
Interesting. Did you get to ask questions or anything like, oh my God, I didn't get this or whatever, or was it really just go?
Yes, so they would read us the rules, whoever was the host of the competition, or if it was like a live show, obviously production would have to tell us what's going on. So they would read us the rules, we got to ask questions, then we would start. So we didn't start the competition until everybody had their questions answered. Okay. That they were obviously not just gonna like throw us to the wolves and be like,
go.
Hey everyone, here are the rules, go. And we'd be like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like they're just not going to do that to us. But no, we got to ask questions, which was nice because I had a lot.
That's okay.
We believe you.
Whoopsie. I had a couple. Not a shocker to anyone, but I had a couple.
That's okay. So how has your life changed since Big Brother? Like you were teaching before. Do you feel like you're going to ever permanently go back to like being as a classroom teacher, or do you feel like your path was kind of like diverted somewhere else?
You know, I always say it, I mean, at least coming out of the house, I've always said this. I'm open to any opportunity presented to me, depending on what that opportunity is. I have a passion to teach. That's not changing. So I'm already back in the classroom right now.
Awesome.
I'm subbing 3 days a week. Potentially with the new year, this could be turning into a TA positions, which I'm very, very excited for. But I'm back at all 3 of my jobs. So for me, honestly, if anything happens, I'm gonna take each opportunity as they come, but I couldn't have more accepting bosses who are like, if anything else happens, like just let us know, because they wanna work with me through this, because they could not have been more supportive of me being on the show and my journey through Big Brother. But no, and also now coming off the show, I have this insane platform to inspire, to share more positivity, more kindness, more light with so many more people. And I mean, I had a TikTok platform before coming in the Big Brother house. I had 167,000 before walking in the door. But for me, the whole reason why my platform blew up is because of my positivity, the energy I bring, and the fact that just I dance to make people feel happy. That's literally what I do on a day-to-day basis. And now I can reach even more people through that. And then you've got the big component of autism awareness. Now I get to use my platform to share more about my story, share more about other stories, and to rewrite a narrative on neurodiversity that is way more positive, way more accepting, and way more inclusive to everyone's viewpoints on what's going on.
Love that. That's just
I think that's
so
the best way to
amazing.
put it.
It's great.
Totally.
It's great.
It's also fun. I mean, I get to dance every
yeah.
day, and like that's a thing. Like I'm like doing dance videos. I'm like, hey, and I'm like, wait a second, this is actually like one of my jobs. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like it's great.
You're hilarious. So tell us a little bit about your strategy when you went in, and did it change over the course of the time?
I mean, it definitely changed. My strategy going into the game was to have one person who I could tell everything to, and then have a lot of sub-alliances throughout that, hopefully be in a big alliance so that I was covering on all angles. But my number one strategy was make long-lasting relationships. There was the Royal Flush, there was the Slaughterhouse, there was the Cookout. I was in none of those 3 alliances, but I'm the only person that was not a member of all 3 to make it to jury. And that's because the fact that my relationships were so strong that people knew I was a number for them because they just knew that. They didn't have to be aligned with me formally, but my relationships with them proved that they could count on me and they could trust me when they needed to. So that was my number one strategy. That kept up in the game, especially when I was still in the house. But my strategy, of course, changed because I was on the block 4 out of 6 weeks about being in the house. So I started playing the game on the block. When I was on the block, I had unsolicited time with any house guest I wanted to for as long as I wanted. So I would just have conversations with people, get that personal time, not even talking about game, but just get that time to talk to people on a personal level and be like, tell me about you. I'm gonna tell you about me, tell me about you. And let's make a bond here so that we can work forward in this game. Because if you don't know anything about them, they can't really trust you.
Yeah.
You know? So I started playing the game on the block. That's why week 5 worked so well, was because I told Derek X, put me up. If it's up against King, put me on the block. I won the veto, and I'm the reason the back door happened. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm like, let's do it. At that point, I was like, I guess I'm playing my game on the block. Nominate me, please. I guess we're gonna do it. Obviously, we had to fake a couple tears along the way. Sorry, but we got there. We did it.
Smart.
But it was fun. Like but that was my main aspect of the game that I wanted to beforehand and in the house was those meaningful relationships. Because there were so many people that were willing to work with me, and so many people in week 6 when I was going that were fighting for me to stay. Claire and DX were doing a whole house thing, and they were like, guys, there makes no sense to get rid of Britni right now. Like, come on, like let's keep her, you know what I mean? They were fighting for me to stay tooth and nail, and they had a lot of people convinced until obviously the vote was just not going in my favor because the Cookout had control of the votes, which is okay. The Cookout is genius.
Genius.
Genius alliance. How do you not love the Cookout? They're genius. They duped me and I was like, yes, yes you did. Yet like as a fan of the game, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. And also they're all great people. So
your cast is awesome. Your cast is like my favorite cast.
They're just family. They're all family. You know what I mean? And just, it's great. It's great.
Love it. So changing topics for a second. How do you feel like Buffalo has played a part along your journey? And then also growing up in Niagara Falls, has that made you like a tougher competitor going in? Like, explain.
I mean, Karyn, you know this as well as I do. Niagara Falls girls are tough. Like we're from a different breed. Like we're just tough people.
Different universe.
Different universe. But you know what? Buffalo, absolutely. I mean, the reason why I was able to come as far as I did was because of the Summit Center in Buffalo. The Summit Center helped me tremendously throughout my early intervention, throughout my ABA therapy, throughout the early years of my life. Without Summit, I would not be here. That's just a fact. Summit was insane for me. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing such great work there. That's actually my charity of choice. My mother and I will be doing a donation to them very soon. So that is my charity of choice, just because that is an organization that changed my life forever. But Buffalo is just, I mean, it's like the feel-good city. It's home. Buffalo's just got a different feel. Whenever you come to Buffalo, you just know it's a different feel. And then obviously Niagara Falls, we've got the beautiful Niagara Falls in there, but also the people in Niagara Falls are amazing. We've just got some solid people, just good-hearted people who are willing to root for me even if they don't know me in Niagara Falls. I mean, I went to the nail salon the other day and I met a woman who watched me on Big Brother. We had a conversation for 25 minutes because she knew me better than I knew her. But it was so cool because I was like, wow. Like, she had no idea who she was. But Niagara Falls dropped everything to root for me. Buffalo dropped everything to root for me. I mean, that's special. You don't get that in every town.
You don't.
You know what I mean? But you get that in Buffalo and you get that in Niagara Falls.
No,
So
like we do it for you, we do it for the Bills, right? Go Bills.
You know, Bills Mafia all day, every day. That is our team.
Right.
That is it. That is all. Bills Mafia, drop the mic.
Yes, that's exactly how we do it for the Bills. Is how we're
Bills-
gonna do it for you, right?
Absolutely. I mean, Bills Mafia all day.
Yeah,
Bills Mafia all day, baby. Hey,
touchy
hey.
subject considering we're from Niagara Falls. Just saying. Anyways,
Very true.
so if our audience wants to find out more about you, where can they get that information from?
Yes, absolutely. So you can find more about me on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Twitter. Instagram and TikTok are both Britni_D'Angelo. Make sure to spell it correctly, though. It's like Brittini. You won't find it otherwise. And then my Twitter is just Britni D'Angelo. Don't ask me why the underscore isn't in that one. We're still trying to figure it out. But no, so just social medias. We have a lot of fun. We go live. We do trivias. Disney trivia is one of the most popular, but we do a lot of trivias.
That's your favorite.
Dancing, things like that. But no, just we have fun. So
Awesome.
come
Well,
join the fam.
Let's do it, all right? I already follow you anyway, so it doesn't matter. Britni, thank you so much for
Thank
joining us
you.
today. You were so much fun to have with us, and Happy New Year, and only the best of you for you in 2022.
Oh my gosh. Happy New Year to the both of you.
Likewise.
Happy New Year to everyone up there as well. Happy New Year. I love you all. And just thank you guys so much for letting me come on the show.
Absolutely. Welcome back to the Karyn and Reece Show. As always, anytime Karyn's around, Spirit's around. So if you would like to enter to potentially win a reading to hear about your loved ones or about your future, you may do so by visiting our website at www.karynreece.com, spelled KarynReece.com. You can also visit us on Facebook at Karyn Reece Psychic Medium, or on Instagram and on Twitter at Karyn Reece. You can also visit her on TikTok, Karyn Reece and the number 1. And you can also send an email, Karyn, Karyn, and then the little @ sign, KarynReece.com. In your submission, please make sure you put your first and last name, your email address, your phone number, and why you deserve to win a reading. So today we have a very lucky winner with us who wrote to us via email. Bree, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and grateful for this experience.
Of course, Karyn, take it away.
The name Julie or Judy also keeps coming up. Is that a friend of yours or your mom's? Julie, Judy?
My grandma, her best friend was named Judy. They're like cousins, but she always said they were like sisters.
Yes, yeah, because I heard a mother, so it's your grandmother's best friend or cousin or what have you, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, your grandmother's still here?
No, she just passed in
She's
June.
here, that's why. Because she said a good friend, and she says, I couldn't wait to see you. And she says, good friend to the Julie. Your grandmother said, I'm so proud of you, Bree. She says, you have no idea of all the great things that you're going to be doing ahead of time. Did you find, do you have her handbag or a wallet or something of grandma's?
She actually left rings for my sisters and I.
No. Did you?
But a handbag, you said?
Yeah, or did you find something in your wallet that reminded you of your grandmother or a handbag?
Oh, she gave us all one card of her, like a wallet-sized picture of her, and I always kept that in my wallet when she gave it to us.
That's what she's talking about. It's in there. It's in there. She said, I'm still here. She says, I love you. She says, I've had a lot of great friends. My grandchildren, my children mean everything to me. And your grandfather and I are very proud. Also, got the July or August connection. Is that your parents' anniversary, or who's got that as the birthday?
My mom's birthday's in August.
That's what I looked at I saw August. Tell your mother happy birthday from grandma. Also, the name Ellen or Eileen keeps coming up. Is that a friend of your mom's? Something L-E-N.
My other grandmother's name was Eleanor.
Oh, Jesus. And you know something? That's my mother's name is Eleanor. I kept hearing L. And so grandma's telling me that Eleanor is here. That's my mother's name. She goes E-L-L. I'm like,
Eleanor is what she was starting to write because I couldn't hear. Eleanor's here. Just, but of course, the party can't start without me. So you got a lot of people coming in. I'm trying to like listen, and it's hard to hear them all talking. So, you have a lot of blessings in this lifetime. I did see marriage and children for you too. Is that on your bucket list? Because it's on their bucket list, just so you know.
Yes, I was actually gonna name my first daughter Eleanor.
I know that's what your grandma.
That's a really pretty name.
Yeah, your grandmother told me that because there's children, and she said my name. That's so funny because that's not a common name, other than Eleanor Roosevelt and Graham and my mom. Yeah, and she's smiling about that. Your grams are just so happy to see you, and they'll be at your wedding too. You're gonna have a big wedding, by the way. Also, who was the Joe connection? Was that a brother to your grandpa?
The Joe, my aunt, is her boyfriend's name is Joe, but they've been together for over 20 years.
Oh, okay, so it's about time that they get married. So they've been living in sin, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, that's what your grandfather said. So tell your aunt, Grandpa said you've been living in sin. It's about time you get married. Just saying, just so you know. They're all, yeah. But we like Joe. Joe's a good man. The other thing too, so I saw a good marriage. Your career house looks good, but you got a lot of, some shifts coming up too. And did you ever want to teach or train
Yeah,
people?
I'm actually going for PE right now. So I'm graduating in December with my teaching degree.
Oh, is that what? Oh,
Physical education.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. I think Eleanor told me that. That's so funny. I kept hearing Eleanor, Ellen. Really, Ellie? Your Eleanor's just like my Eleanor. You're killing me, Elle. She says, no problem. She's laughing. Again, the party just started because she just got here a little late, she said. Also, do you golf at all? I saw you golfing.
I started golfing over the summer, actually.
That's what Eleanor, she says you're good at golfing. She's watched you. That's so wild. See, you can't have a private life. Just saying, Bree, your crazy family over here, they know everything that you're doing. And did you lose a watch or something? Or you need to put battery in a watch? You got a problem with a watch?
Yeah, for PE, instead of like checking the times for the periods, I have to like change if like the battery dies in my watch because I have like a regular one. I don't have one of those fancy new ones. I just have like a classic one. So I'll have to change the battery in that, but it was like kind of dying on me last week actually.
The name Tim also goes near you. Do you have a friend named Timmy?
Oh, that was a girl's last name that we were like friends with at Nair. I just saw her for a wedding. Her last name was Timmy, we called her.
Your grandma was with you with Timmy. She likes Timmy. That means you're being stalked by your crazy grandparents. Both your grams love to hang out with you. You can't make this up. And she said a recent connection. So her last name is Timmy. That's so funny. She said Timmy. That's hilarious. Did you ever think like Eleanor or your other grandma were around you?
Maybe like sometimes like at family gatherings, but not like that, not at like the wedding when I'm like hanging out with my friends. So I'm like really excited to hear that they're watching over me.
Oh God, and you're such a great person. I keep seeing angels around you. Do you like do you have a piece of jewelry like with angel wings or something with that connection?
My friend Maria actually bought me an angel when my grandmother passed.
Oh, that's what grandma's, because she says, I love the angel. I'm looking at wings and she goes, I love the angel. That's why Maria's name was also mentioned too, because grandma said angels do exist. And she goes, tell Maria, I love the angel. Oh, you can't make that.
It's so I'm gonna like cry.
No, I'm trying not to cry.
It's okay if you do.
Well, call your friend Timmy and go shopping and eating again. Eleanor's ready anytime. These girls are tough women. They may be older in age, although they look like they're 30, just so you know. And Eleanor says, we look fabulous. So you better tell your folks that, your grams are having a good time. But tell Maria that we really love the angel. That's what Graham said. And, when your gram transitioned out of the body, she said, you know what? I didn't feel any pain. Up out of my body, nothing to fear about. And she said, Grandpa was there and a bunch of other people to, walk her to the other side. The name Carly comes up around you. Is that a friend of yours? Carlisle? Carly?
Carly is a friend I played softball with, and she's actually my sister's best friend. And she met my grandma multiple times and was actually at her house. They like brought her ice cream one night.
She goes, what a nice, she says, my granddaughter's really good friend. She goes, what a sweetheart. She says, my kids have my grandchildren pick great friends. And she goes, that's all I want. Great friends, fun times, less worries. She goes, worries will just give you gray hairs. And by the way, do you collect coins at all yet? Because your grandfather says you should be doing something with coins, getting a coin collection going.
Actually, my grandparents collected coins, and now like my mom was the executor. And now that they're going through all the stuff, like my aunt today just brought over a bunch of coins for them to like look through. And I know my uncles have some coins.
Yeah, so yeah, your grandfather was there. He goes, there's some really good ones. Was there somebody named Harry in the family? Harold or Harry? No. Harry?
Not that I can think of. There might be, but I can't think of anyone right now.
There's a Harry on the other side.
Henry was my grandpa's name.
That's it.
We
Because
call him Butch, but like all the siblings changed their names. Like, so he was born Henry, but everyone called him Butch.
that would make sense. He goes, H something R-Y. I go, Harry. And I was like looking at his writing. I couldn't hear him. Sometimes when I can, I said, write it. And he has a little yellow notebook and he goes, Henry. Okay, there, Butchie Henry. Yep. Couldn't wait to see my girl. He goes, see? He said, I just love you so much. Stay away from the boys, though. He goes, they're bad. Unless they're like your father, your brother, or me, or other people. Other than that, the boys are all bad. Your grandmother says, well, you could have been that bad. I married you. Okay, no fighting, you two. But they're
they would always tease each other.
Oh, they're still teasing each other. By the way, your whole like troop on the other side, they know each other from past lives. So Henry said, Henry's a good name. So feel free to name, your son after me or your daughter. She could be Henrietta. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that was his twin's name. That was his twin's name.
Her aunt Henry's talking about. He goes, Henry or
so
Henrietta. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at a woman. I presume that to be his sister.
That is so funny.
Well, nobody wanted to change his name. Go ahead.
My great grandma Mimi, she had 6 kids. She had 2 sets of twins. She named them Henry, Henrietta, and then Gerald, and then Geraldine.
Oh, stop it. You're killing me.
That's so funny.
Henrietta's doing well, just so you know. I just heard that. Yep. That's what your Aunt Henry said. Give everybody a hug and a kiss, stay and behave yourselves. They're all talking at once. It's hard. So really, I guess you could, have a Henry and Henriette if you want, or vinaigrette or something.
Amazing. Well, Bree, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully this gave you the peace and the closure that you needed. Karen, thank you. And Spirit, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, thank you.
Welcome back to the Karyn and Reece Show. As always, if you would like to connect with Karyn to potentially hear from your loved ones or hear about your future, you may do so by visiting our website at www.karynreece.com, spelled KarynReece.com. You can also visit us on Facebook at Karyn Reece Psychic Medium, or on Instagram and on Twitter at Karyn Reece. You can also visit her on TikTok at Karyn Reece and the number 1. You can send us an email, Karyn, Karyn, and then the little @ KarynReece.com. And you can also call our office phone, 716-580-2520. So we would like to thank Sarah Farmer at Farmers Creekside here in Leroy, who set up this whole igloo for us, who's been so amazing. She has so many amazing events, and we definitely will be back. This will not be our last time in an igloo. But cheers to all of us. Let's get some bubbly, some champagne. To 2022, to an amazing season. Thank you, Kelsey, for driving here and joining us today. Cheers.
Special friends.
Cheers. Stay tuned for more from the Karyn and Reece Show. Bye, guys.